The longest official race I've ever run is a 5K, but tomorrow that's gonna change. Tomorrow we run the Air Force Marathon. There's dirt on my hands. The Air Force Marathon has been going on since the 90s. It is a staple race in this area for all runners. The course will take us around the Air Force Base a bit, around the Air Force Museum is the start and finish line. It'll take us around the Nutter Center, downtown Fairborn. We'll get to see some cool areas. I was told it's also flat, but at the same time, I was told it's hilly. So I really have no idea about that. But why do I want to run a full marathon? Well, a couple reasons. When I started CrossFit, it kind of opened me up to all of these different fitness modalities. When I started CrossFit, I realized I was not good at gymnastics. So I joined a club gymnastics team as a 18, 19-year-old college student wanting to get better at CrossFit. My philosophy is if you're bad at something, then practice to get good at it. That's all there is to it. I think it's important to do hard things for yourself, whatever that is. So for me, it's a marathon because I'm not a runner. For others, it might be swimming, it might be CrossFit in general, it might be working out, it might be consistency. But do hard things and you will get better at life in general. The other reason, and almost the biggest, that I want to run a marathon is to inspire. So I've been posting a lot as I'm running, and my hope is that somebody sees that and wants to be healthier as well, whether it's running or something else they're having trouble with. It's not easy to stay consistent with something, especially when it's something like running to where you're just suffering, putting yourself through pain when you don't have to. You don't have to do it at all. And so if I can help somebody get past that roadblock and try something that they don't want to do, but it's going to make them better, then that's a win. And also inspiration to Levi. I mean, he's seen me go out for these runs and stay consistent with this plan and do something that's hard for me. And I hope that it encourages him to do the same and one day be much, much better than I am. All right, Air Force Marathon is over. Actually, it was over like 2 weeks ago. I've kind of been going back and forth on posting this video because, in my head, I'm like, well, who cares? And trying to get away from that mindset because I think some people out there do care, but more importantly, I care, and I want to look back on this memory and this accomplishment and be proud of myself, and I am. I finished the Air Force Marathon. I finished with a time of, I think technically around 4 hours and 50 minutes. Going to be very honest, that was more than what I wanted, and that's easy to say now. Everyone wants to do better looking back. I think the disappointing part for me is that I could have done better. I felt great until the cramps started. I had significant cramping issues around mile 16, 17, and dealt with it sporadically till the end of the race. And so I guess to be able to even finish, I'm happy about. It was never a consideration to stop. I would have walked to my hands to the finish if necessary. But I felt great until the cramps started, which was a bummer. But anybody that's looking to do their first marathon, top 3 things I did well, top 3 things I wish I did better. Did well, I think consistency. I mean, you got to put the miles in to be able to do something like this. Show up every day, every week, put in the miles, stick with a plan. Going along with number 2, have a structured plan. Don't just go out and run. So it's one thing to just go out and run a bunch of miles. It's a second thing to do things intentional, follow a plan. I used Runna, and Runna worked very well for me. Download Runna, use that whether you're training for a race or just trying to get better at running in general. 3, I think my pacing was good. I'm really happy with how I paced really the first half marathon. I finished a half marathon around 2:04, I think was the technical time, which look at my total time now, that's pretty bad. And some might say I hit a wall, but I actually think I paced it perfectly. Runna had me at an estimated pace of around 9 minutes, which sounded kind of crazy because my easy runs were slower than that, and so that kind of scared me. But I stuck with that pace for a while and felt really good. And so I think if I would have gone slower, it wouldn't have helped me with cramps, and I just would have had a much slower time, probably above 5 hours. 3 things I wish I did better. One, of course, the sodium. That was the cause of my cramps, so I could have avoided that if I had known better and prepared better nutritionally. And I thought I had nutrition dialed in, but turns out I didn't. 2, probably my shoes. I don't know if I really would have done it differently, but there's still the question mark. I started out in my Nike Vaporflies, and they kind of tore up my foot. And I think they helped me go faster. So that's why I said I don't know that I would have done things differently. But at around mile 15, I'm very thankful for Lainey, because she had my Mount to Coast shoes there for me that I switched into. And that helped my foot significantly. And it might have taken away from the pace a little bit, but I don't know, maybe if I had run in those old time, maybe I would have been, maybe things would have been different. I don't know. It's easy to look back now, so who knows. 3, I also had a vest, a hydration vest with, I used BPN electrolytes. I also had several gummies of blocks as well. And when I switched my shoes, I actually took the vest off because I was like, well, it's empty. I can just get water and get electrolytes at the hydration stations along the way. There were several of them. And I think that was a mistake. I think if I kept the vest, I could have filled it with water there where Lainey was waiting for me, or at any of the aid stations. I think I could have filled it with water or anything that would have helped fuel me for the end. So I think having that would have been really nice. Hopefully that helps anybody else running with goals to run a marathon. Incredible experience. I'm very proud of myself for not only the day of and finishing the marathon, but especially the work leading up to it. I trained hard for this because I had a long way to go from where I was to being able to run a marathon. And we did it. What's next? That's a really good question.